How you doing? It's Bob Reynolds. I want to bring you a PowerPoint here on entrepreneurship to the Ozark Mountain Young Entrepreneurs Club. And let's just get right into this. First of all, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Um, and we'll be three main topics. I'm not going to get long and heavy into all these. I just want to hit the real good meat part of all this. So I'm going to be talking about entrepreneurship, overcoming our fears, and teams, the importance of teams and how all that ties together. A couple key points to remember is what is entrepreneur, why are they important, how you overcome fears towards obtaining some of those goals, building your confidence, expectations, and the importance of the right people around you. We're going to dive into a little bit of a clip and talk about the Pygmalion story, and then also the self-validation, passion, and purpose. And we'll get into some teams here as well. I may have to do that on another PowerPoint. Okay, what is an entrepreneur? There's your book definition, and then there's another definition that came out in a recent book I had written by Mel Abraham that we'll get into. But an entrepreneurship has traditionally been defined as the process of designing, launching, and running a new business, which typically begins as a small business, such as a startup company, or offering a product, process, or service for sale or hire, and the people who do so are called entrepreneurs. It has been defined as the capacity and willingness to develop, organize, and manage a business venture along with any of its risks in order to make it a profit. Now that's the key between being an entrepreneur or a successful entrepreneur, is you wind up making profit. Okay, what is an entrepreneur? Now this is out of Mel Abraham's book, The Entrepreneur Solution. Let me read the definition, what he says, and then we'll talk about that for a second. The new entrepreneurs are passionate enough to try new solutions to age-old problems. They make it their mission to make a positive difference in people's lives, and in the process of striving to reach their own potential, they discover new, ingenious ways to benefit entire communities, whether local, global, through their success. Okay, so the key here is they're striving to reach their potential and working and providing benefits for the community or the world. You get a lot more collaboration going on with the new this new decade of entrepreneurs. And less greedy. Okay, why are they important? Well, they bring an extra passion that they bring to solving a solution to a problem increases the success and the benefits of humanity and the earth. So the important thing about an entrepreneur, just in short, is it's their passion. It helps them push through and come up with solutions at a higher success rate to benefit humanity and earth. And the main thing that's going to take for that, which comes along with the quadrants, is they're going to need to be able to overcome fears. I brought up this book, Overcoming Fears, with the book Four Quadrants by Robert Kiyosaki. He was the gentleman that wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He grew up, his dad was poor, his best friend's dad was rich. So as he was growing up, he would be seeing the different advice that each one of these dads were given. And he started through the years, was like, whoa, I think I might want to do the rich thing. And we'll talk about that. Here's a video clip here. You can go and watch Robert Kiyosaki give a brief explanation of the four quadrants. Essentially, there's four quadrants at where we work at in life, or where we produce and how we provide. One is just being employed. The other one is being self-employed. And then there's business, and then there's investments. Now in them four quadrants, we're trained through school and through our everything to either be an employee or at the very most self-employed. We're not really ever trained how to come across and go over that. There's like a wall there of getting into operating a business and investing. We're not really taught that a whole lot in school. And so that's where I think there's a gap. And so what I want to do is go further into this in another video, but go check out this link and you'll get a better understanding. The number one thing needed to get to the left side of that quadrant is to overcome fears, okay? And that's out of Robert's book, okay? People are employed and they're self-employed and they're wanting to get into that business. They're wanting to get into that business, but the bad thing about it is they can't overcome the fears to do it. Okay, fears are overcome by passion, leading to courage, building confidence. Passion develops from purpose and from your whys. So we want to bust out of that. I mean, again, this is for entrepreneurs. If you don't have any inkling to want to be an entrepreneur, that's fine. Then, you know, this probably won't be for you. The main thing it's going to take to overcome those fears is that passion and that confidence. And that's where we get into the expectations and the importance of the right people around you. I'm going to pull up this video clip here in a minute, but before I do, I want to talk to you about these documents down here. Okay, this is a story about a Pygmalion, and stems off the story way back in the ancient Cyprus was back there, in the Greek, I believe, gods, and he had built this statue, and he idolized that statue and had so much expectations for that statue that the goddess of the time actually brought this statue to life because of the sculptor's expectations. Years later, there was a playwright of that, and Bernard Shaw, actually a movie became out of that, focusing specifically on people live up to what you expect of them. Okay, and in that this ties into business, because as bosses and team members, it's so important to have good expectations of the people around you, because they'll actually, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy that people in general will rise up to those expectations that you have on them to a certain degree, okay? It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it's been proven enough to where Harvard Business Law has done some reviews on that, and that's what these documents are about. Those are papers that I wrote a paper on this in college, but I'm going to pull this up, and all right. So I'm hoping that you got the gist of what that script was about there. I mean, again, people live up to the expectations that you set them. Now, if they fail you or fall from that, you know, you pick up the pieces and you go forward. So in this YouTube, in this PowerPoint, these links, I'll make sure that they're up where you can see, get the PowerPoint so you can follow the links. So it's about building that confidence. All right, self-validation of confidence. Okay, self-validation of confidence. Think of all the things that you've overcome to build confidence. I know we could look at our lives and we're like, wow, it hasn't been much. But if we really think about it, it has. I mean, make an effort to take action to build your self-confidence. Reflect on past achievements, push through fears, and exercise going outside of your comfort zone. You know, I mean, it starts from, we learned how to walk, we learned how to talk, we learned how to tie our shoes, we've learned how to go out into the world and respond and communicate with people. All those things are all little bitty things that actually help build up our confidence along the way. And those are the things, and depending on your case, if you've played ball, you've worked, reflect on those things that you've already accomplished to help build up your self-validation of confidence. You can find that one of the most important things is your purpose and passion, your mission and your vision. Okay, identify a need and bring a solution to the table for it. What would you do if you could, kind of questions to help get to the bottom of your heart's centeredness, your gifts to humanity. Okay, so if you had all the money in the world, and you had the house, you had the home, you had the kids, you had the whatever you wanted, the Ferrari, whatever, after all that's said and done, what gifts, what do you have in your heart that you would give back to humanity? That is going to help you chew deep in your heart and find out what your main purposes are. And those are going to be those passions, those purposes, those passions are going to actually give you the confidence to overcome your fears along the way. And that's what's got me here so far. Okay? The collaboration in entrepreneurs. When entrepreneurs begin to reach outside of themselves and work with other like-minded people, a synergy occurs. This synergy of working together establishes a collaboration developing into teams that can reach greater success. The following is an overview of the fundamental of teams. Okay. Well, back to that. Okay, I'm going to put teams on another one I already mentioned. I don't want to make these too long. Okay, so we talked about what is an entrepreneur. Okay, that's somebody that puts things into actions and tries to make a profit of it to help people. Why are they important? Because they have such deeper passions that drives them to overcome more obstacles, and so they have a higher success rate at succeeding at things to help humanity. Things needed, you're going to need to overcome your fears. But in overcoming those fears, keep in mind, those fears are the same type of fears that keeps people stuck in a self-employment or an employed mentality and not over into the business and an investment mindset. The Pygmalion story is a great one as far as our expectations and the importance of the right people around you. If you're running around with a bunch of people and they don't have very high expectations of you, pretty good chance that you're going to live up to their expectations. And so that's why there's a study that says that we actually become like the 5 people that we hang out with the most. Okay, so think about who you're hanging out with. I mean, I'm not trying to tell you to ditch your family or friends, but if you're running around a bunch of people that don't have very high expectations of themselves and they don't have very high expectations of you, you might want to consider, finding some other friends that will help you reach your potential. That's where real happiness comes from. Okay, then there's the self-validation of confidence, your passion and your purpose. And there's a book, Master Key to Riches, that we'll talk more about and why that's so important. Okay, here's our resources, is the 4 quadrants: the Master Key to Riches, the Entrepreneur's Solution, Awaken the Giant Within, and Be Obsessed or Be Average. And again, here's the links to read the Pygmalion story that you might want to go check out. All right, this is Bob Reynolds. I want to thank you for having an interest in what an entrepreneur is and an interest in growing. Let's move right along. The next one's going to be teams, and we'll just keep it rolling. Thank you. Peace out.